All right, looks like we are live. Good morning, everyone. This is the voice and the face of Dr. Tulu Labinto. I'm the CEO, co-founder of Living Spring Family Medical Center, where we help our patients live long and well. Because we believe the quality of life is just as important as the quantity of life. Happy Saturday to you. I trust that you're doing very well. If you're watching live, hashtag live, watching replay, hashtag replay, you know the things. I'm excited and delighted to have on as a first-time guest with us, Dr. Vanosia Faison. Did I say that right?
Yes.
I did? Okay, awesome. And I'm going to give her a chance to introduce herself to us, but thank you, Doc, for coming. I know Saturday mornings are a precious time. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us this morning.
No problem.
All right.
So my name is Dr. Vanessa Faison. I am the CEO of Grace Internal Medicine in Prattville, Alabama, and we provide comprehensive and caring internal medicine care for our patients.
Awesome. Now, for those of you who are wondering, we're talking about tired all the time. Let's fix it. Tips on how to regain your energy. Now, Doc, before we go ahead, why do you do what you do? Why did you become a doctor? What was it for you?
I have always loved science and biology, and I love helping people. And this is just a natural kind of progression, I guess, for me to go to medical school. And I love what I do.
Awesome. I like that it was natural for you. This is good. All right. So we're talking about people feeling tired, fatigue, and we get that a lot in conversation. When we see our clients, I feel tired. I want to have more energy. What would you say are the top causes of fatigue or low energy that you see?
One of the major thing that I always ask first is, how are you sleeping? Because it's amazing to me. Patients will come in and they'll be like, I'm so tired, and not really understand why. And then when I ask them how are they sleeping, oh, I don't sleep, or oh, I sleep horrible. And so there's the first question is, are you sleeping enough hours? And then the other thing is, what is the quality of the sleep? Are you waking up multiple times? Do you have a partner that snores? I mean, there's all sorts of things that go into what is the quality of the sleep. Are you waking up because you're too hot? And so I really kind of dig down into making sure that they're getting good quality and quantity of sleep, because that's the main thing. There is no pill that we have to replace quality sleep.
I love that.
And then the other things, there are, some deficiencies and blood disorders that, that we can check. Is the patient anemic? Do they have a problem with their thyroid? What is the vitamin B level? Those D is another common one. And so we check the blood work. And so those are things that we kind of look at when you're talking about fatigue.
All right. So they're blood work. But before we get to, we always like to focus on preventable causes of fatigue. And I like how essentially you said there's no medicine that's going to replace the need for sleep.
That's right.
Doesn't exist, or at least you don't want it to exist, because sleep is very, very important for the body. Now, for someone who's watching, who's like, yeah, I used to run fine on 5 hours of sleep or 4. Like someone was in med school, we didn't need much sleep. We just did the things. And I have to say that's been a struggle for me. Like I used to be fine with 4 or 5 hours, and now it seems that's not working anymore. So for that person who's saying, but I used to, there has to be something wrong. I used to be able to thrive on 4 to 5 hours. Now, what would you say to that person? Like as is it you're getting older? Is it, I don't know. What would you say to that doc?
I mean, I really want to make sure that I'm listening to my patients. If they feel like, something is wrong, something is off, then let's do the things. Let's check the blood work. Do we need to do a sleep study, to see there are some very famous people that function fine off of 4 hours of sleep. I know, like Bill Clinton only needed 4 hours of sleep or whatever. So if you only need 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and that's been your body habit, then, okay, let's look and make sure that there's nothing else going on that could be causing you to feel tired.
Okay, she didn't say that you should go on 4 hours of sleep. I just want to clarify.
Okay.
No, I just want to clarify. I'm happy for him. 4 hours. Wow.
Most people are going to need between 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night.
Okay, so most people. All right, awesome. All All right. So how do you? So we talked about the blood work, and then you talked about sleep. You mentioned something about people, who have partners that snore and things like that. Do you have any quick tips for people who are like, well, what do you want me to do about that? It's noisy. I want to sleep, but it can't happen. It doesn't seem to happen. Any tips for that, real quickly, before we move on?
As far as if you have a noisy partner, then yeah, you're going to have quality sleep. So, however that needs to happen in your house, I'm not going to get in the middle of that, but you got to have 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. So,
I like that how you guys stay away from it. Quick tips: earpieces. You get an earpiece, earplugs. That helps. And and
mhm,
and sometimes see what if there's something medical for your partner that needs to be treated so that
right.
you also can get good sleep. And sometimes I've have encouraged intimacy before or have conversations and then one person go to a different room to get good sleep. But in conversation, we're not about splitting couples. We want
Right.
people to stay together, and that's why we're treading carefully on that one. But thank you very much for that. Um, so we talked about sleep. Sleep seems to be the question. Now let's talk about foods. Are there foods that help with make fatigue worse, make it better? What could diet like? What other causes of fatigue when it relates to food? Do we have tips for like food that can make us less sleepy or things like that?
One thing that I like to recommend is just trying to stick as much as possible with fresh fruits and vegetables and lean meats. If you take this approach, then you're going to be getting a lot of the nutrients, and the vitamins and the minerals that you need from the food. So if you think about it, low iron can cause fatigue.
Mhm.
Are you eating foods that have enough iron, magnesium, vitamin B? These are green leafy vegetables. And so I think sticking with fresh fruits and vegetables as much as possible and lean meat is going to help you to feel better overall. You're eating less processed foods. And so that's going to be better for your body.
Yes, very, very true. As you eat healthier, you actually feel better, more energized. You could test it out in 2, 3 weeks and see for yourself that it actually works.
Mhm.
Um, Now, any other, like, are there other things that tend to affect energy levels? Let's say for someone who, um, as far as exercise, let's talk exercise. Any tips for, sometimes when we have those conversations, you're talking to someone who's tired and you're talking about exercise. That
Right.
sounds a little contradictory. What do you say?
So I do think that exercise is going to help us to reduce our stress levels. It's going to, get the body moving. You feel a little bit more energized after exercise because of the release of hormones like, the feel good hormones that our brain produces. And so there is going to be, a benefit that you feel from exercise. And that's very difficult to do when you're, so exhausted. And so what I recommend is one, trying to track steps with a goal of 10,000 steps per day. But starting, with something very small, like 10 minutes of walking. So walk 5 minutes one way in your neighborhood, 5 minutes back. That's a 10-minute walk. And walking is a good natural exercise because it's something that we all have been doing since, we were, toddlers. And so you're not going to hurt yourself with it. I don't tell people to go to the gym and start trying to lift a lot of weights and do all these crazy exercises. Just walk. You can walk slow, you can walk fast, you can, do a jog, but just get out and start walking. And then gradually your body is going to naturally, and be able to improve on what it's doing. So your 10-minute walk will easily turn into 15 or 20 minutes as long as you're consistent with it. But starting with something as small as a 10-minute chunk, to just kind of a brisk walk to kind of get your blood flowing, I think that will, definitely help the overall, health and also help you to feel a little bit better because you're producing those chemicals.
Yes, yes. I know a lot of times it sounds like we're being mean. Like I just said, I'm tired. You're asking me to do more work. When you move, when you exercise, you actually start to feel better. And I like you, Doc. I have to say, the 10 minutes. Just start 5, 10, just start 10 minutes and stay consistent. That's the challenge, but I don't know, whatever you need to do to remind you, to encourage you, please be encouraged to do the things so you feel better. There's something in it for you. And I'm just giving you work to do. There's something in it for you, and you are worth the inconvenience. So I
Mhm.
thought we're all taking notes. Um, so we've talked about sleep, we talked about food, we talked about physical activity. Now let's go to stress. Let's talk stress. And for those who work a high stress job, some of it which doesn't even require you standing all day or lifting things all day, but it's stressful. Stress drains energy, doc. How what did help us, doc? Help us. What do you suggest with that?
The first thing is with stress, I go back to regular exercise. But the question is, how are you going to relieve your stress? Honestly, and this may not be the most popular opinion, is I tell my patients jobs are a dime a dozen, right? If you're having a job that is causing you significant stress, where it's impacting your life and sleep and all of that, then maybe the job is not a good fit for you. And maybe you should find another job. I had one patient who came in on multiple visits, and she was so stressed out about her job, and this is kind of all we talked about. And she finally listened to me because I told her, look, jobs are a dime a dozen. Find another job. She found another job. She made double the amount of money. Yeah, her annual income doubled, and she had bought a new house since I seen her. Before she came in, looked like a totally different person. Was happy and just vibrant. And she said, Doc, I listened to you. I got another job. Who knew she would make double? So you never know what's on the other side of it. I do not, and I have never have been a person to endorse staying on a job that doesn't suit you anymore, because there are just too many
Mhm,
opportunities. So if
mhm,
your job is causing you stress, I mean, don't do anything that is going to be financially irresponsible, but definitely start looking for something that is going to be a better fit for you. That's number one. Because it's hard for you to put in things to kind of relieve your stress when the job, and you spend so much time there, you
mhm,
know, um, that it's going to cause you that much trouble in your life. The other thing is to think about what relaxes you.
mhm,
Some
mhm,
people will be relaxed by going to get their nails done. For other people, it may be taking a walk. For someone else, it may be their spouse taking their kids for 4 hours so that they can have some time alone. I mean, think about what really is going to help you to relax, not what society says is going to relax us. You may not like going to the spa, but what is it that really feeds you? Like, do you need some time alone to pray, or do you need some time to get with your friends and go fishing, or just have a glass of wine? But think about things that are going to recharge you as a person, and then really try to incorporate those things on a consistent basis into your life. That's my thing for stress relief. The other thing that I look at in the clinic for patients, and I have a whole picture of it, is signs and symptoms of depression, because we're under so much stress. We have so much going on with our families, with our jobs, with other responsibilities, taking care of parents and those sort of things. Are you depressed? Are you functionally depressed? Because we think of depression as someone who's about to commit suicide, but there's a whole spectrum of depression,
mhm,
where you're able to function and able to do all of the things that you need to do, but you're still depressed. So fatigue is one of the major symptoms of depression. Are you having lack of motivation with it? Are you having trouble sleeping? Are you having weight gain or weight loss? Like, look at the signs and symptoms. And I show them a picture with the signs and symptoms of depression, and I say, hey, how many of these symptoms are you having? Of course, this is after blood work has been done and we know that there's nothing else going on, physically, but sometimes it can be, the fatigue can be a sign of depression.
mhm. Thank you so much for this. You said a lot of things that are powerful that I wanted to highlight. You talked about when it comes to stress, you talked about the job. The truth is, we spend a lot of time with the people we work with, so it's got to be It's got to be a good fit for you. Where I work, on my own practice, very, very fast paced. And one of the things I'm always looking out to see is this a good fit for you? If it's not, then no, long term, it's not good for your health.
Mhm.
So we have to make, and I like how you said financially responsible decisions. So gauge it out. You need to tease yourself or wean yourself off the job and find something else. Please, by all means, your life will thank you for it. You talked about doing things that are relaxing for you, not based on popular culture. I remember trying to fit the whole do nails. Oh, I don't like it. They pick and pull it on your cuticles and why? No. So I found that, reading a book, as boring as that sound, relaxes me, or listening to music or worship or just basking in the aroma of just, God's presence. That relaxes me.
Mhm.
So do what works for you and do things that are good for you. Because there are outlets that are not so healthy for you. Over
That's
drinking,
right.
doing drugs, those relax you, but they're not good for you. So, and I like how you talked about, is there something else? Could you be depressed? Could you be depressed? And could you need to say a little bit more no? So you're less tired, but that's a whole different topic, Doc, right? Learning to say no, to some of the stressors. Sometimes we bring it upon ourselves. But thank you so much. Very, very powerful, powerful, powerful. Now, I want us to wrap, or ask this question in a way. Like I have someone who's watching who's like, well, I sleep well. I don't think I'm depressed. I exercise. I feel like I've tried all these things, but I still feel tired. Any encouragement, encouragement to someone who's watching, um, in line with finding relief. Any tips, any encouragement, Doc? Before I go to the next question.
I would say to really try to be consistent and give, this is not a quick fix. Really take a good look at, your sleep and your lifestyle, and try to incorporate exercise. Give it a good 30 days. Are you taking a multivitamin? Because we most of us don't have, the best diet. And so are you getting all of the minerals and nutrients that you need, for your body to function at its peak performance? On a consistent basis. And so really put in some time with consistency with a clean diet, of trying to get your fruits and vegetables in, making sure that, you take a multivitamin. I'm a component of multivitamin. I don't really have one that I think, is better than the other ones, but I think adding a multivitamin in is good. The other thing that we often overlook is, are you well hydrated? We drink a lot of, especially if you're tired, energy drinks and coffee, and those can be fine, but the caffeine can cause you to, be dehydrated. And so, are you drinking plenty of water? Because your body, needs to be well hydrated. And so, just being dehydrated can cause you to feel, tired and have brain fog, and just not be your best. And so, I would say, try to be consistent with those things for at least 30 days. And then if you're still feeling tired, needing to take naps, those sorts of things during the day, then go back to your primary care doctor and say, hey, I'm still feeling tired. They may need a sleep study. They may need, further, blood work. Is there joint pain associated with this? Is there autoimmune disease going on? We don't know. But I would say, try those things first, and then just make sure that you're communicating how you're feeling consistently with your primary care doctor to try to get to the bottom of what's really going on.
I love it. Powerful tips: sleep, water, exercise, eating well, stress management. So we have the 5 things for one for each finger. So they're very powerful, and consistency. Give me this. It's like a 30-day challenge. Dr. Vanosia essentially gave us a 30-day challenge to try this consistently for 30 days and see if you're not better. You're worth it. Not easy to do, but not impossible as well. Now,
Right.
Dr. Vanosia, I have someone who's watching. Wow, this was good. This was very, very and very quick too. We're only at 8:20. But Doc, I have people who are watching who are like, wow, I like this doctor. She keeps it real. She's straight to the point. Little fluff. And they want to get to work with you, maybe follow you. Maybe if they're in your neck of the wood, come see you as a primary care doctor. Doc, how can people connect with you?
So we have a website, graceinternalmed.com. And so you can contact us through the website. And yeah, I do have a Facebook page for Grace Internal Medicine. We don't post a lot on there, but we do have a Facebook page under Grace Internal Medicine. And so you can reach us that way as well.
I love it. Grace Eternal Med. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Doc, for spending your Saturday morning with us. I've put the link at the bottom, so we have the website there. And we also have the Facebook page so people can connect with you directly. You rock. I'm encouraged. I'm reminded as well. And I'm sure our guests as well are. And for those of you watching, thank you for joining us live. If you know people who could use this video, even though they couldn't join us live, share it with them, tag them in the comment, and you could teach them this hack. They can, if you go to the gear button or the settings, you can actually make it play faster. So you can watch the video. You can watch the video a little bit. That's one of the things I do. You can watch it a little bit faster so you can get all that juiciness in a shorter amount of time. It works. Thank you so much, Doc. I appreciate you.
Okay.
All right.
My
On
pleasure.
that note, oh, you're welcome. On that note, if you or anyone you know is looking for an awesome, a thorough, and compassionate family physician who will have conversations like this to help you live long and well and with more energy, I am she. Have a good one, everyone. God bless. Bye. Doc, hang on.